Hello everybody and welcome to this Friday night stream. Turn the music down a little bit. So, we're here to continue our build for a client, and for those that have been following the build from the start, yesterday we managed to get the final installation done in regards to the radiators, the pump, graphics card, threaded all the fittings. So today main goal is get the tubing final assembly, some cable management, and as we can probably install the fan hub, but we'll see how we get on with that. Oh, chat looks a bit small. Okay. Let me know if you want to change the camera angles or anything like that, but right. Been a long day, but we'll crack on. Okie dokie, so let's get this sorted. So, tubing. So last night, for those that joined us, if you didn't, we visually put all the fittings in. We also use plumber's tape in every single joint to ensure minimum risk. So I have to cut a new tube going from here to here, because the original tube had a 90 degree fitting on it, which was this one. So you can see that's a bit short. So we'll get some tubing out and we'll cut that. Probably do that first. And then we're going to install the fan hub for all the 6 fans, SSD drive, 2TB mechanical drive. Not going to do all the cable management, just a little bit, because I want to test it first, fill it up with some distilled water, give it a good flush through. I'm going to use a separate power supply to power everything up, because I don't want to use this power supply, which you never use, the main power supply plugged to the board to prime your system. You either hot wire it, the 24 pin, which is pin 8 and pin 6 I think, with the paper clip, or you can use a little adapter which I have that I use for mining. You can just click off, and that should do the trick. So, any further ado, throughout, if you have any questions in regards to PC tech related, let me know. I will try my best to help. Cut them as well. Let's get some tubing. It would be nice to be at a stage on the stream to be able to fill it up some of the still water. But we will see. Time will tell. So I need a measure. So using a silicone hose that I normally use for hard tubing, and when measuring, always measure not from there but from the actual fitting itself, going down to the actual fitting, and then once you have it, always add a little bit extra. You can just cut some off. Tell you what, one of the best tools I ever bought for doing soft tubing was this pirated cracking tool. Never let me down. Had it for years. Still in an original blade. Cut no issues whatsoever. So I read an interesting article today about gaming X's on Reddit, asking people if they have any RTX's 2080 Ti's. They've downloaded them to send them in because they're doing a bit of a test to find out if it's a Turing architecture issue or not. I have to go a bit more. Or is it a software issue? But personally, I think it's a combination of the actual VRAM that they used. And you got to question, since Pascal, how NVIDIA wanted to keep control of the voltage to the card to safeguard the longevity of the actual cards, and that's what was said for the RTX launch when I'm talking to one of my developers. And he stated the reason, when Game Connectors interviewed them, one of the reasons that they put limitations on power delivery, so they don't want the customers to damage the cards by overvolting, which is quite interesting. That the way that Turbo Boost works actually, try a bit more. It actually dynamically changes the voltage to keep the temperature down. So the cooler seems to be pretty good design. What am I doing? Yeah. Okay, cool. I mean, it's not the best design, but it's better than the blower style. So if it's not a cooling solution, and it's not a software solution, it's got to be the architecture. I still say it's been rushed out. Right, so that's that one. Let's have a look. 242 outlet. I would assume it's that one. Got 360, that's that one. And this one is, where's the CPU? So I'll assume this one. I might have to recut. let's see. Let's two fittings on. I still have to put the last bolts on the 240 at the top. Can you see what I'm doing? Is that better? The rear fan's still not fully screwed in. This is the final fit, so I'm tightening it, everything in as much as I can. Don't have to use tools to tighten everything up. Right, so I'm going to rest the CPU. To admit, the actual tubing from make sure you put the fitting the wrong way around. Yeah, Mayhem's Ultra Clear 19mm, easy to work with. Some tubes are a bit harder, so when you're trying to put it on fitting you have to use a bit of hot water, dip the end just to soften it up, or you can use a heat gun. But overall, never had any issues with it. Already done the rear feed from the 360mm radiator that's going to the graphics card. And that is, as nice as you can get that one, a little bit edge. I'm trying to firstly put it so you don't see the actual underfitting. But each to their own, as they say. So what's people's opinion on the RTX 280 Ti, also the RTX 280, which I think most people are actually getting because of pricing. It's actually nice to see that the prices of the GTX 1080 Ti's have gone down, even buying brand new. Gigabyte at the moment, overclockers.co.uk got a pre-order on the aftermarket version, and it's actually quite reasonable, around 500 £550, brand new, 3 years warranty. So it's still a lot of money for a graphics card, you've got to admit. I remember when I got a GTX 970 and I thought like £250 was a lot. That's Boeing. It is a snug fit. It's been all go today. I had a family member coming from London early this morning, stay over for the weekend. And all this, which is nice. I've seen her for about a year. Tighten that up later on. Too much pressure pushing the card down, so I might have to cut a little bit. Just a little snippet. That works. I'm being petty, really. I'm being very petty. That's what happens. Try to be a bloody perfectionist. Oh, there goes the fitting. I've lost the fitting. Gone somewhere. Flush. That's what I want. This one. Maybe we can do it that way. That's pretty much the loop done. So what we're going to do next is leave it there. After that, we're going to put the final screws on the top of the radiator. Get rid of these tools, we don't need that. Check position. So I want that to be spot on. Slightly touching the fitting there, which is fine, but that's what it looks, guys. Getting a bit warm. sure it's centered. So we're going to be installing a Fantech PWM fan hub. We're going to put it in the final position. Just going to plug all the fans in. Going to connect all the RGB plugs. And we're going to get a secondary power supply. We're going to eventually get the fans up and running. I need these for later. Full system up. These graphics card. Need to plug it in and see what cabling route I need to take. Do I go from the bottom or do I go from the top? And just looking at that, so you can actually see. Yeah. Gonna go as tight to the top as we can, because this is going to be covered up. And then set up 2 SATA cables. And just realize. Yeah, OS. Put those 2 there. Cool. Right, let's do the fan. Oh. Let's up that, put some hole. Some fireworks going out. Old school. Right, so the only thing that we need to do with all these fans is make sure that they are in the right order on the fan hub, RGB fan hub. So, top fan, and I'm just going to mark it. Saves me later on when I'm plugging everything in, trying to work out the route of where the cable goes. So you've got two different plugs. Your fan plug, which is the 3 pin. And you've got 5T 210 RGB. What we want is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when the lighting changes, you're not having odd pattern, random pattern. Just make sure you've got the right channel. That's fine. But I still have fine time to do this. This is not relaxing time. Hindsight, Hi David, how are you doing? Well, thanks for letting me know. If it's too loud, just let me know. I've got terrible taste in music, so if there's anything that you guys fancy, send me a link, a YouTube link, and I'll whack it on. So at the moment I can't hear the music. Because I don't want the microphone to pick up, so then you get feedback right back to the microphone. Right, can't hook. Not that we're going to be using. We're going to use splitters. It's a 12 volt input SATA front hook. Shows that I've used these before and I've tested this to make sure it's working. So what this simply does, instead of having all sorts of cables plugged in into your motherboard, you power this up via SATA power, and then you have a one pin, which is a wire which I already have here, goes to your CPU fan header. Okay, and then the first fan, there's all the fans, there's 6 fans altogether in this system, and they're all the same. So whatever fan you put here, that will send a signal to the motherboard, and every other fan will operate at that speed. So for this it's perfect because we want a quiet, silent operation system. It's got static pressure fans, but they are decent. You know, they're not the best, don't get me wrong, but they are decent. And by using this with a combination of the ASUS software, you'll be able to tune the fans to operate silently. So as the load increases, the fans will increase automatically, and when there's no load, it will be super quiet. You know a lot about PCs? Well, you could say that. I've been doing it for the last 15 years, building for friends and family and myself, and then building for clients, and this is a client build. But I do it slightly different. There's a lot of competition of people building PCs from new. I offer a service that at the moment people don't get served on shops, which is if you have an old PC and you want to upgrade it, I do transplants, I do water cooling loops, I'll do the build on their house if they want to learn how to do it, I do it with them, and use a mixture of new and old parts. I'll show you. And that's what we have built so far. You're trying to learn to build one. Well, you always have to start somewhere. The way I learnt was I got an old PC, took it apart and tried to figure out how it worked. But that was years ago. But now, with the delights of YouTube, you've got absolutely tons and tons of how-tos. Some of the best people in the game at the moment in YouTube who's their job, look at J2Sense from the US, great guy, does a lot of water cooling, overclocking. Linus Tech Tips covers pretty much everything that comes out on the high end. Game Nexus does a lot of testing, so cases, fan, you've got absolutely loads. So as long as you've got the time to learn, it's a good hobby, but it can be expensive as you progress, because you always want to get the next best thing. For me, I prefer the old style, old chipsets. This is nowhere near the newest thing there is. It's a Z170 chipset. I'll give the links so you can see what I'm talking about.
Change this thing. Let's stop it for a second.
That is the part to use in this build, to give you an idea. The RM850 power supply, the motherboard, right. What do you mean by that? Not sure what you mean, buddy. I'm going to temporarily plug these in. get all the fans. It's like a spaghetti junction. So we're going with a 650 watt Corsair power supply, but which will be sufficient for the system. We decided, I decided to buy a 12-volt power supply with some headroom in case you want to, one, change the graphics card at a later date, and two, if you want to go SLI. These days it's not really worth it, but there's people that love a two-way system. Now the motherboard is Asus Z170 Deluxe. It's a 1151 socket motherboard. I'll show you the box, but I don't have the box. I bought it out of the bundle on the system that was built by, what was it, scan.co.uk. Decent board. That's why I'm using it. I have others. I'm going to have the delivery of an MSI Z170, which for this build would be very good, an M6 board. Much loaded with features.
Baby, let me take you out. Show me cars that I want to buy.
On those pliers.
Took your hat, walked in the place. Your sexy eyes and your pretty face. The laser beam and the very light bring different colors to the night. I'm checking you out, all I see is you. I believe I fall in love so too. All I want is to hold you tight. Show me colors of the night.
That's what it looks like. On the front. Power. I'm not going to connect this to the motherboard because we're going to do a drive test, so we have to power the whole system without powering the motherboard by using a secondary power supply. So this will allow me to use, so the wires cable management is not going to be done yet, I need to put it on, and then I can try the system. So fiddly. Yeah, you can see what I'm doing. It's going to come off once again, so I'm not doing all the cables that we spot on at the moment. I did install all the fans carefully, so I'm not damaged any of the fans. Also want to make sure that the lighting works. The thing is, there's two controllers for the lighting. One is built in the case, which is connected here, that can control the lighting from this unit here. This controller actually comes with a case. The Corsair 460X RGB comes. If you want to buy it separately, you can do so for other cases. Let's dig out the more power supply. Well, yesterday while I was doing the stream, I didn't get to the pictures of the those I was doing. So today I have to take a few pictures of my stream. I just wish that every manufacturer, now that RGB is the mainstream thing, that they just came up with not their own individual proprietary connectors, but just one standard that would just allow the wires. That's what I need to actually be using the main power supply. Well, that's called the fan top. So we need a power supply, the power source, and we'll see. First we're going to just do the RGB controller. The lights are working without the fan spinning, and then we will see power supply somewhere. I normally use something like this. But it's got a switch on it. You can switch on and off. You can see it's pretty much all it is. Got 2 pins. You can basically get a paper clip and do the same thing. It's basically just a wire. You can virtually test all this time. RGB first. Go on fire. I had one that actually, I bought a separate kit. It actually, I think it was one of the hooks that I used. It was in a Femtech, and I decided to start smoking the wire. So if you see that, there you go. You can see that. as such. Change colour. There's the nose. So that's working. And they're all in sync. Picture of the mess tables are. Take some photos because yesterday I totally forgot. I did a 4-hour stream. Totally forgot to take any photos. Switch that off. And then what I'm going to do is look at some fan holes. It's not fan holes. Oh yeah, because it needs so at least it's powering it. Happy with that works. So, what we can do before doing any of the wiring is fill it up and then use the external power supply to just run the loop. And then once we've done that, and also need to download the actual manual of the motherboard that I don't have it. Just depends, so I'll check that up now. Let's see what Santi looks. bottom is hard drive plus minus, and power LED plus minus at the top. Excuse me. Where did I get that from? I-1904. How are you? Interesting username. Hard drive LED. Next one on top is power LED plus and minus. Have you ever had a lazy Susan? What was this? Please explain. A lazy Susan. Ah, you mean a turntable? Yeah. Now I know what you mean. Yeah. Like I said, so we started streaming, back streaming, last week, so still gathering bits of stuff that I need. But yeah, we'll come in handy. Right, power bottom and ground. Really? Switch. Why is he saying that? Oh, all the other ones. Right, so I think what there's left to do is get some of the still water. I wasn't planning with filming that today, but I've got absolutely loads of kitchen towels, just in case. Double make sure all the fittings am I going to stop the hard drive? Well, I might as well do that. Give this to you. That'll be cold. Get it done. Get the cables. Then we go for a Western Digital Green. Spaghetti junction. I'm going to need 1, 2, 3. I've got that. I've got firstly 2 power cables, SATA power cables with 4 outlets. I'm going to need just 2 for the drive. So my thought is I don't want anything on the side. Because normally you put your SSD on here. But because space is limited with the cables, I want to run cables over because I will have to power it up from the top. So, solution would be to mount the SSD on a 3.5 gauge on one of these together. Storage drive. Very limited space. Extremely limited space. Throughout this whole system, everything's been smooth, absolutely everything. I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but that's see that? That's the space that I've got to basically any excess cable I've got to put away. That's it.
You've got to move it, feel the temperature into the rhythm. Let the fire burn, so get into it, get into the
I did say I like a challenge.
of the travel, that's the travel. Trouble dance, trouble dance.
I can feel the weight, pressure of the cable, and the thrust of the cage of the position.
You never know when it's a go ring. But when it ring, just pick it up and receive. When you finish, put down the receiver and carry on. Cause the sun will always shine.
Ideally, somehow could go under there. Ideally. So I've got a little space under there. That's worth a try. We'll have a look. Should have some screws for that. Somewhere.
definition of love. To create, to give. It's about showing up for other people. I'm very proud of you, Tina. When I was writing this album, I went through a lot of emotions. Anger was one of them. We want to become an activist. We can shape culture in a cool-ass way. Love is a force. It has the power to change the world. And you should have so much fun in the process.
Head is big enough to catch on the drive. Cables from the motherboard. That's the wiring in the motherboard done. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I do a mistake or something. What I'm thinking about is, one, I don't want Barney to lose out in space. So, I mean, you can mount with the 3 SSDs in the back. 1.5 at the bottom. If I take that, then you could always take it out. Do what's right for the customer.
You don't have anything to say. Need direction every day. Reach good people everywhere. You can give them love to share. Everybody know the people. Do they want to change this world? Everybody know that people.
Problem.
release and let it flow. Cause it's time for me to show. Joy is
Then
everywhere around. I wanna have some fun.
possibly power from the bottom of the bed would be on that side. Then the base cable will be blocked. Cannot use that. Yeah, I could if I take the string out.
No, I don't need no stress. Slippity slide, I'm in a mess. Work is over, work is done. Are you ready to free run? Come to the place, come in, and let this fly begin. High, high, up to the sun. I wanna have some fun.
Right, I'm going to get some distilled water, so a little bit intermission. Leave that out.
Love is a force, has power to change the world.
Right. We need to go to the shed and get some distilled water.
I'm at a payphone trying to call home. All of my change I spent on you. Where are the times gone, baby? It's all wrong. Where are the plans we made for two? I know it's hard to remember the people we
Boom. Right. So, got the distilled water, a little funnel. But also, before I do that, I'm going to install a set of power cables.
If you're looking for devotion, talk to me. Come with your heart in your hand, because my love is guaranteed. You want
Really should have installed these beforehand, but anyhow. Right, so with the lights of kitchen towels. I'm going to be powering it up using a separate power supply, so none of the components will be powered, but it's one of those. You'll know that I've checked, unchecked, and I will do a final check on all the fittings. It's a bit of a precaution. And if there's going to be a leak, it's not going to be for the main fitting, it'll probably be one of the joints. But we'll see, especially the back one. But that one's going to need my light. Power supply to just the pump. Off. SATA cable. Really should have tied these up in a bundle. Oops. Cable tie. So I'm going to be using simple ionized water. Water that you normally put in the car batteries. Oh, sure. this little tap. So yeah, that's the brand that I use. You get it from Halford. Normally water that goes in irons or your car battery. So we're going to use this just to test the system and then use it to flush it out before we actually put in the final liquid, which is Mayhem's. Mayhem's X1 UV Red. There's going to be a leak. There will be now. It's quite a small loop, so you shouldn't have to take a lot of liquid. I've got some spare in the fee. Hopefully this doesn't look what I'm pouring in. Pitch it. needed a bit of help. There's going to be a lot of sediment and salts floating about. Bubbles to get rid of. To be tipped over so it fills that pipe in the lower pipe as well. Just make it really nice that I didn't expect to make. bonus. So this, they just let it get all the bubbles out. That's why I filled it up with that open. But the good news, initially, we got no leaks. Initially. Switch it on and off, get bubbles out. So yeah, so it's going to take a while to get all the bubbles out and everything, but I'm happy to report so far no leaks. So success. We'll have to tip it to get this part filled up. I'll let all the bubbles in the system, so virtually all the bubbles are going through the piping will come back up and just pop, so this water is going to go slightly down as it runs. So I have one complete. But this is just distilled water. Once I've got it fully vented, I will put the power for the pump on the main power supply of the motherboard and boot up, start it up, and I'll be able to turn down the motor. Loads of that on there. Let's see, there's a little drop there. So once this folds up, the water should go down. So I'm not going to add any more water until, but this is the thing you've got to do. Lovely. bit. I think we can say that's been. I thought the pump, when I started the pump, it wasn't pushing through, but I think it's to do with the bend of the air pump. Yeah. Put the top on, so shake it a little bit. I don't want that to spurt and that disappear. I've taken one of the ports at the top open, so at least the air can escape. I just want to put it on so I can move it about. You can hear the air bubble through. Go through. So for those that are watching, it's not going to be this loud. You can hear it. The noise you are hearing is the water and air trapped within the loop itself. So when the loop is fully air free, then you shouldn't be hearing shivering coming from the motor, and that's about it. Do the venting off air. It's not exactly the most exciting thing to watch. Well, there you are. I know the motherboard's got power, so I could swap it over if I wanted to. Powered up with the main power supply, I run the system up, but I really wanted to get rid of all the air pockets this on the system before doing so. It's getting there. The dog was down there before, but once that's filled up, then you've got that bit there. You can see all the bubbles on the return, plus air trap in the radiators and there. And you're keeping an eye on the liquid, and that gets to there, then I'll top that up. Oop, just tilted my head on the camera. Itself up. Down. Put a bit more water. So actually, the loop is so small that it's not even under a litre of liquid. Under a litre. My phone is dying as well. Battery on. You can hear less noise already. Just that bit to do. It'll work itself. It will work itself. Yeah. So lovely Mayhem's X1. So this got biocides and inhibitors, so it'll minimise any like algae and stuff growing. Personally, for my systems, I just tend to use just still water, ionized water. But for customers that want a bit of colour, well, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's getting quieter. I like it. I like it. So this build, the last thing to do, once we swap over from the external power supply to the motherboard, is cable management. And then, you know, the usual, install Windows, download the BIOS, latest BIOS, graphics, sound, and then we'll tune the fans. I'm going to do a overclocked profile for the client, so we can switch the overclocking on whenever he wants, if he chooses to. It's there. It's a 6700K, so we'll do 4.8. That's not a problem. But yeah, you can see that as the air disappears, it's filling up. Once that's filled up, then I'll switch it over. But it takes time. I mean, I could continue shaking to hurry up, but I just leave it running, doing its thing. Well, I can tell straight away from the noise that the air bubbles within the radiators through the fins. It's getting less and less and less. So all you hear is a humming. Now if I can get the fans to spin, because these static pressure fans, but if you get them nice and low, it's going to be a really quiet system. But for a budget pump, it's a really good pump. I've used this pump by Watercooled on my boy's PC, and it's been running now for like 2.5-3 years, every single day. I've not changed the fluid. All he's used was ionized water. Again, he wanted red as well, but I used a dye, and I just put a silver coil on it, and it's been running fine ever since. For the price that you pay. Yeah, this is the version 2. Version 1 had a bit of an issue So version 2, they rectified the issue. They added an extra port at the top if needed be. That was the plan, because I did put a fill port at the top, but the space is so tight, and because I was running a cable, there's just no way I was going to be able to put, I couldn't even push the pump lower down. But the good news, every single towel is dry. And it goes to show, you spend a bit of time and use plumber's tape on your threads as a backup if you've got a failed O-ring. My concerns wasn't the fittings, it was actually the rotary fittings, because I used a mixture of EK rotary fittings, 45 and 90 degree, and also used some XSPC parts and Barrow parts, so there's quite a mixture of parts in here, all black of course, but I'm always confident on the EK, never had an issue, but I'm always willing to try a different component that's just as good but a lot cheaper. And when you're doing a budget build, you have to look at different suppliers, see if they can do the same as the main well-known suppliers, if they perform similarly, and if they do, why not? So, so I don't know what we will do next. I'll take a few pictures for the client. Oh, just that bit. Just that bit. You can hear the bubbles through the radiator where these air pockets trap. Well, that is what you get when you're doing water cooling. Take your patience, don't rush it. Oh yeah, you can hear it. And it's a 450 litres flow, which is about, you know, it's not massive flow, but because the loop is so small, not a massive loop, it's plenty. Thing is, when I put the main coolant in, I have to do this all over again. Then once it's up and running, then I have to do all tests, test of memory. I know I've tested every single part and I know everything works, but I want to make sure. I always double check. Going through, come up, bent up. does not make interesting viewing. I do apologise, but it is what it is. So see the bubbles coming up. Oh, the bubbles! Almost. Let's drop somewhere else. Always handy to have a separate power supply. Be able to do this. I've seen so many people build water-cooled systems, and they're switching main on, off on a main board. And the thing is, nothing here is powered apart from the pump. So if there is a leak, distilled water does not conduct electricity. So for those that are scared of building a liquid cooled PC because they think they're going to electrocute themselves, you're not, as long as you follow the right steps in regards to, if you're building a system, don't power up the pump via your main power supply on the system you're going to be using. And let's say for sakes that you do have a leak, that's why I always test with distilled water first, see if there's no leaks. I've got my drain valve here, you can drain it out, fill it up with a coolant after, no problem. But let's say you do have a leak and you're using this method, separate power supply, and the water hits your graphics card. Your graphics card is not going to die. All you have to do is make sure that you put the graphics card and dry it, and I don't mean a couple of hours, you're talking 3 to 7 days. Dry it. For me, I tend to just stick it in the bag. Some rice, old tricks used to use with mobile phones before mobile phones were waterproof, but it's one of those that happens to the best of us. I've had leaks before. Not because something fell, because of my failings. Check and double check before, because after you spent ages building a system, you want to get up and running. You want it up and running, and I understand that, but if you rush it, I guarantee you there'll be a mistake somewhere. I've done it myself. So, hi Stelly, how you doing? Fell asleep last night. Hi Stelly, how you doing? I'm sorry if you fell asleep because of me. I'm sorry, I don't make very entertaining videos, but you know, we got there. So yeah, the power's just running the pump at the moment, and that's it. I want to get rid of the air, and then I'll switch over, because at the moment I've got no leaks at all. All my paper towels are dry, which is always a good sign. And I'll switch over to the main board, the main power supply, and boot it up. But no, had a bit of a funny moment. Alright, I'm okay, how are you, mate? Sorry, I'm being rude. I'm being rude. That light up I did have a bit of a moment when I primed the pump. The pump was working, but wasn't pushing at the. Oh, we're almost there. Come on. Bubbles. Wasn't pushing the liquid through because it was going up for whatever reason. So I thought, oh great, I've got to automate the pump. But the pump was working. I thought, okay, hold on, that can't be right. So I said maybe he needs the 3-pin connector to the board. So I switched on the power on the board, which is fine, but I didn't boot it up or anything. And it's still the same thing. But then I just shook it over a bit and flow started. So what have you been up to today, Stelly? Anything exciting? There's still air, loads of air. Because as soon as I tip it, it's not just there on the tube, but within the radiators. Yeah. There you go. When you hear a noise like that, I've been working loads of work. Yeah. Hibernating this weekend. Don't blame me, mate. It's a bit shit out there. Absolute sort of weather you can't be bothered to go out. But so there's going to be a long stream today. I think the main goal for me today was to get the loop working. That side, cable management, it's going to be interesting. I do like cable management. I like spending my time on routing, but I installed the fan hub, and I actually tested. Actually, I can do that. I can do that now. I can test the fans, the RGB side of things, anyway. Just trying to find the right. Yeah, that's the one. Fans won't operate, but the lighting side will. There you go. Pulsating. All the different colours. I think the owner will go red. And modes, so you've got flashing, which is from that fan. I like fade in, fade out. It's like a pulsating. You can increase the speed so it's quicker and really slow. That's what I like, so that's quick. Oh, very nice. Slow. So with the tempered glass, I think it looks smart. Come on, just that last bit. Well, that's doing my head in. You can tell I'm not an RGB fan, but see the front. There you go. That's the front. As it stands at the moment. Loads of there. I'm being quite gentle because the camera is on the table. Normally I wouldn't be this gentle. Shake it about like that. Quite safe to say. I haven't got any leaks. Every single one of them is dry. Well, might as well switch it over to connect the hard drives, got the panel sorted, but even if I've done that wrong, rid of these bottles. Oh, the wires, the wires. So I'm not going to do the cable management tonight. I just wanted to plug everything in and make sure everything is working as it should. I'm going to check. Yeah. I'm going to need a different cable. Oh, excuse me. Got Windows 10 Pro 64-bit to install. This is the fan plug. So I'll install it temporarily to test it. Got that is the controller for the RGB. So I'll do the pump separate to that.
Hey guys, I'm Shawn Mendes.
Let's see if I recognise this on the actual bias. So, which one is which? Outer is OS. I do have a driver operating system already on it. That I could plug it in. Yeah, I could do that to test it, couldn't I? Instead of the main drive, because I need to get a key. Actually, yeah, I didn't think of that before. So on that system, get it up and running. Yeah, why not? I've got a M.2 format SSD. And this, which is like this, which I can put. It's crucial. MS500, just a basic standard drive. SSD on M.2 format. And I could temporarily install on that. Has it got the screw? It does.
Hey guys, I'm Shawn Mendes. If you like this video, please share it. I was 14 when I picked it up. Until I put that
Testing
first video up on
purposes.
YouTube, and until I wrote that first song,
Come in
I
handy.
didn't realize I could write music.
Shawn, when do you get nervous?
Always, man. Nerves mean you care.
Do you ever think back to being that kid, being a girl?
I wasn't dreaming stadiums or like Grammys. It was just about doing it for fun. I just wanted to be that guy who sang and played guitar on YouTube. And really lucky to be doing what I'm doing, and I just want to say thank you. Yeah, man, I'm getting emotional about it.
You can use better. Get rid of that. And everything, so the runners from there should be as clean as here. Might as well. Could bring the system down. Yeah. These. I've got a display port. Which am I? Hopefully, the camera will be able to pick that up from there. If not, let's just move the screen. I've got to put all the way up to here. Port. So we'll see at that. So we've got 1, 2, 3. I can input. So there's the drive. Pump and the hard drive are the same. So that's that. So the only thing that's connected, not connected, is the SSD that I'm using. And the SSD can hopefully be able to move this camera. So the last thing is our cable for the power supply. Graphics card is connected, motherboard 8-pin, 24-pin. RAM slots done. OS, already have it installed in there. Pump, check. Pump is running on the main power supply. Hard drive. 2 connections, should be 3. We got RGB controller. Yeah, as well as check. And the last wire is the actual feed from the motherboard to the actual fan header. So that is it. Don't think is there anything else. So put power on. Can I move this? So yeah, put it at a different angle so you can actually see, and hopefully camera up here at the top so we'll see the screen. Well, as they say, it's the moment of truth. Let it go, boom. There you go. Restart. Code. It's the RAM. RAM is 3000. Go back to default, give me a code. 60, 24, 62, 92, come on. There we go. Fan's kicking in. Yay! CPU fan error detected. Of course it is detected because I'm not using it for the CPU, I'm using for the hub. So Right. CPU 20 degrees. Well, there you go. I will gonna move the counter so you can actually see. Can you see that? So we want advanced mode. First thing we need to go. Yeah, I can remove the frequency. Actually, we can go absolutely like that. Just restart it. Thank you. So, it's alive. Don't worry, the fans are not going to be that loud. Okay, so now that's running. We want to go into storage configuration, and we want to put that on, should be, yeah. Gen 3. Set Express. Now we want to get up to the moment. And we're going to go into fan. Let's see. The thing is, I'm not using any of these. I've got one fan connected, but LDC. Let's see if we can do it from the BIOS. So the signal is going to the fan hub, which will recognise it as just one fan. Fan hub will replicate the signal from one fan for all 6. So whatever profile this comes up, we can do it from here on the BIOS. Or you can do it on the actual software. Should be interesting to see what temperature the graphics card is at. speed of the water pump 2800. Yeah, motherboard, CPU 22, motherboard at 20, VRM's 22. So the CPU fan that's feeding the signal to the fan hub is at 600, just below 650 RPM. So we're gonna just save a profile. Save the profile 1. Here we go. Configuration. So here it tells you how much stuff you can do within the BIOS itself for the actual fans. What PWM? Lower limit. So the lower limit. We've got silence. Everything. Right. Let's see if it's apply. Hopefully recognize the M.2 drive that I put in the board. Alright, so I need to disable the fan low speed option so that I don't keep getting this message. Okay. Okie dokie. Well, that's pretty good. Give you control to the pump as well. But it doesn't matter. Really disable this, have I? should be it. There you go. It will kick in because first I was using this. There you go. So I was using this on my test bench, but I'll get my USB key. Right, so what we're going to do is from here. So what we're going to do, same test, but we want to be able to control within the desktop. So hopefully the camera angle can't really bring the monitor even further. So you can actually see. Actually doing the pump as well. You definitely don't want the pump to go super slow. So this is the loudest the system will go. CPU is 26, but I don't trust fully this. Setting CPU at 20. Oh, that's right, my previous board. Okay. See the fan speed. Click on that. It'll tell you all the fans. So that's the pump, and that's the speed. Nothing else is plugged in. So even though we have 6 fans, we just need to control one header, and it does everything. So what we're going to do is fire up a couple of pieces of software. Lighting control. Oh look, you can control it. Lovely. So I've got the USB. So what I need to find out is temps on a card. No, I don't update it. And load real temp. And we'll load. Where are we? This is afterburner. Check if I've got it installed on the. I'll just install it. Be done. Yep, phone's died. So here we are. This is on the lowest fan profile. CPU is doing nothing. GPU. $24. And that's on the lowest setting. I don't know if you can see that. Probably can't. Get bigger, but resetting. What's this here? Oh, blimey, downloading all sorts. Put the phone profile on full. Let's see. I'll tell you what, it pushes some air. Let's see what difference does that make. This is idle, so you know I understand that. And all the cores are locked at 4.2 for whatever reason, but that was from my previous settings on my test bench. Run it. No, they want the latest one. I might need it because I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, graphics card is at 24. So that's correct. So what we're going to do is going to fire up rail bench. Just want to see how well it performs. I've done nothing. The only profile that I've seen is that the all cores are locked at 4.2, but yeah, 4.2 bus up to 100, 16 gigs of DDR4 at 3000, and this is Windows 10 Home version. So we're going to start benchmark, see what sort of temps we're going to get. Okay, so it's my overclock from a previous one, so the bus has gone to 104. I personally prefer, when I'm doing overclocking, get a stable frequency, then start messing around with the front bus speed. So at the moment, GPU, this is in the lowest fan speed. GPU is not doing anything yet, it's all encoding. So Real Bench by Asus is a mixture of multitasking. So at the moment it's encoding a video, you're looking at images, rendering, and you will push the graphics card as well, give you a score based on how quickly the system can perform each task and give you an overall score. So image editing, H.264 video encoding, OpenCL, which will be for the graphics card, and then heavy multitasking. The test takes a couple of minutes, but I also have Heaven bench which we can run. I'll let that do that. So there we go. I better let the client know this PC is up and alive. So hopefully, what have we got here? Oh wow, I got an achievement on the lovely Twitch. I completed 4 achievements. Well, thanks very much, wherever that is. A little closer. So you can see GPU boosting, done nothing, just because of the temperatures. 30,000, but the reason I wanted to do this, I wanted to find out temperatures when it was under usage. GPU. No, I need to put on, but no matter. We've got so highest you'd reach 62, 64, 62, and the graphics card 32 degrees was the highest. It's at 28, which is quite accurate. So we're going to run Heaven and see I don't need that really, I'm monitoring. I want to see the usage. Definitely core memory and its usage. Don't really care about the limit. Frame rate, yes. Overall temperature of the CPU. The usage of the CPU. And RAM usage. Okay. Bring it up. Cinebench. So we'll try Heaven. So recognize our processor. So we're gonna, let's do the graphics card. So you can see the information up at the top. So GPU's at 27 degrees. Gonna start initial server update. Okay, that's fine. Don't need it. And this is, again, this is in the lowest fan profile. So the card is boosting automatically to the temperatures below 40 degrees without nothing at 1949 megahertz, and that's without any overclock. It's not utilizing the card at all really, because it's showing like 30-40%. It'll give you a score. So 158.7 frames a second. So which means now CPU run. See what temperature will I get to. So tomorrow, if I get time, I will take this drive out, put the SSD and install a fresh copy of Windows 10 64-bit Pro version, and firstly go step by step installing all the drivers. Yeah. What's the temperature? No, I don't need it. Where did it reach? So 64 max. Actually, have a hider. That should be interesting. See it using XMP, does it make a difference? And the answer is it doesn't know. It doesn't recognise it. Recognises it. It doesn't recognise it. Okay. How about latency? Surely. 3000 megahertz. Does it increase latency? Going from for best performance minus with a CPU on this computer. Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, it doesn't recognise it because it's an old version that I've got. But heaven. Application. No. Yeah, let's download it. The valley. So budget. System. Excuse me. Well, as a focus, just because I passed by, or could be the lighting of the fans. What? Eugene's superposition is 1.2 gigs. God damn. Mental. Wait for it to download. Just want to run valid. Let's see if my advice when it comes to Pascal cards to watercool them 40 degrees, as soon as you pass 40 degrees the actual card will down clock itself by 13 megahertz steps and balance the voltage to lower the temperature. But with having a water-cooled system, you keep it below that, and then you have more overclocking hot room. So we will see. Okay, maybe cancel that. Probably taking longer than normal because I'm streaming. Don't know. Alright. Hear it. Can hear it now. We'll do heaven first. Then do valley. Heaven. So this is a 1080p gaming system. We'll do a full screen. We'll do a 1080p and rise escalation. So normal. Probably use anti-aliasing. Let's run it. I know this will put some load on the graphics card, so that should give me an indication how well my water cooling design. So we'll bench it. So there's 9 to bench, yeah. So 99% utilization of graphics card, 32 degrees, 1949. So just shy 51 megahertz to 2000 stock. I keep forgetting, is there a volume button for this somewhere? On my side. Use this. There you go. Hear a noise. Is that from the pump itself? Or the fan? from the pump. Mechanical hard drive. When you build a quiet system, you don't realise how mechanical hard drives noisy they are. But that's annoying. Shouldn't do that, really. Peculiar. This is the radiator. So, as I suspected, soldering on the load, still at 37 now, 36, 37 degrees in lower setting. So, skip that, wet. This is when it goes in the load. There's a noise coming from somewhere, I don't know where. Let's shut it down. I can have a look. But I think that's it for tonight. There's nothing much more I can do. So firstly, what's left to do for the next stream is I'll do it off stream, get rid of the bubbles and everything, and then drain it, fill up with the coolant, and then do the wire management. And that's done. Hearing a noise from somewhere, so I don't know if it's a vibration. A noise from the radiator, because initially I thought it was from the actual hard drive, but it isn't. But we will see. That'll have to be another day. So, thanks very much for watching. There's that. There's that. So I have no idea as to when will be my follow-up stream. If I can do it another one over the weekend, I will try. Either tomorrow, certainly won't be Sunday, that's my family day. It's not working. There it is, that's why. I could hear my voice. Just switch over to the... Boof, there you go. Make it easier. Come on, focus. Boof, boof. There you go. Yeah. So successful. No leaks. A lot of bubbles, but with any system. Fans all work in sequence. RGB works, and everything is recognized. So the only thing that I've not done is putting the solid state hard drive, but I can do that on next stream and install Windows, and then just tidy everything up. So I would say firstly one more stream and this one's done, and move on to the next one. And to just make you aware, I'll just put main camera, make you aware, oh come on, focus. Thank you. The next build that we'll be doing is going to be a streaming encoding PC for myself, and I'm going to be using some bits and bobs that I have and put it together, because if I wanted to do a bit of a gaming session over on Twitch and stream it, my old PC ain't gonna cut it, especially at 1440p gaming, even though if I can downscale it to 1080p and stream it at 60, which is what I plan to do. So if I can, I will do a stream tomorrow night, same time, same place. So if you like to continue to see the end of this little journey, feel free to pop in. So until then, thanks very much and have a good night.